Welcome to Facebook Live Monday evening. Deezer and Melton. Hello, hello, Simplify. Always number one. 9 times out of 10. Dana Jackson, how are you? Daryl Vaughn, good afternoon. Tanya Bowers, I got some good news today, y'all. Yvonne Marsh, how are you? G. Curran, Carol Green, Sharon Brown, Wanda Ralph Harrison, Ella Flagger, Mozak Barnes. Diane Murray, how are you? Good evening. Carol Green, Deborah Bodison Bradley, Gwendolyn Small, Isabel Cruz, Kathy Pachelle, Cheryl Lynn, Naomi Candice Donnell, Sharina Rogers, Corey Lewis. How are you? Woo. Weeda Lane, Eileen Luch. How are you? Beatrice Longwa, Diane Smith, Julia Barron, Vanessa Davis, Karima Norman, Gloria Anders, Sylvia Sanders, Siobhan Armstrong, Mary Moses Hunter. How are you? Ty Singletary, Renee Holman, Carla Henry, Rose Phoebus, Lily Lopez got some good news today, Lily. Tracy Lassiter, Hesseray Kopp, Nephara, Vanessa Lopez. Yes, I'm going to talk about that, Vanessa. Linnell Duncan, Letitia Williams, Carlos Lane, Tamika Darden Thomas, Mary DeBose, Carolyn Brooks, DeHavelin Kitchen, Felicia Austin Singleton, welcome back. Louis Scott Roundtree, Monica Green, Cash Severe, Peace, Gina Reynolds, Muhammad, Gladys Santana, Day Judd, how are you? Oh man, you can't miss no weeks. Sharina Rogers, Christina Lane, Lawrence Gibson, how are you? Southport Jazz, Maisha Williams, Aja Gale, okay. Olympia Silva, Sajada Brown. It is tough, I know it is. Abubakar Koyate, Linda Barnes, Nika Melvin, Cynthia Walcott, Tafshia Cosby Thomas. All politics and local WRNU radio. Momo said so. There you go. May McKnight, Timothy May, Nephara 2, Mati Ra. How are you, Mozak Barnes? My people should be on here, G. Niece Rich, Tanya Hicks, I'm trying to get them up here. Where they at? Cinnamon Barnes, Wayne Richardson, peace. Trevor Silva, how are you? Sylvia Sanders, where that Maz Levita, Johnson, April Scales, thank you. Willie Christmas Smith in the building, Janice Reddick, Sal Lucci, peace. Hold that line. Thank you, DeHavelin. Kim Moultrie, Mike Mincy, what's good? Doris Daniels, Ruth Dennis Ellis, Sandra Drayton. Oh, I see Lily, she in there doing the salsa, getting it in. Julia Barron, Adrian Bula, April Brown, how are you? Grace Henry, Keisha Owens. That's right, Gladys, that's Frankie Ruiz. Got that. Alfreda Sutton, Kashia Wilson, Felicia Macklin. Thank you. Tracy Velez, Patricia Pleasant, Marquise Lewis, hold the line. Shalika Mikey, Thomas and Liggins, Jacqueline Stevens, Louis Decree, Mike Missy, what's up, brother? Natasha Gonzalez, Parrot, Neha Gemini, May T. Cruz, Mike T. Cruz, how are you? Oh, shout out Keisha Bowman. Let's get to these numbers. I got some good news today. Rosalind Davis, Margaret Kelly Barnes, Cobra First Lady Always Webb, Cynthia Melton, Tiffany Reed. Yeah, that was Frankie Ruiz. I think Gladys picked that one up. Shout out to Gladys Santana, City of Newark in the building. Got to make sure you guys tune in all week. We were doing the Latino Latinx music to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. We were doing that all week. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go next week too with it. I'll go another week strong. And if you have any suggestions of music I should play, please send them to me. I'm kind of old, so I know some old school music that I listened to growing up in my house. The Fania All-Stars and Hector Lavoe and Willie Colon and all of those guys like that, and Tito Puente and Celia Cruz, and I grew up listening to that in here, and Mongo Santa Maria and all of that stuff. So I need some update stuff, Hit me up with it so I can play it for you. I would love to do that, celebrate our diversity in this city. There was the Puerto Rican flag raising yesterday. It was a great turnout. It was very well put together. Shout out to Josephine Garcia, who was also the president of the school board. Did an awesome job putting that together. In the COVID times, no parade, but the flag raising was good. Next year, we got to have the bomb parades, y'all. Everybody has to have a great parade. Everybody that organizes the parade. The Dominican parade, the Puerto Rican parade, the Portuguese parade, the African American Day parade, all of the flag raisings. We have to turn it out next year as a celebration that we still here, that we made it through this pandemic, that we alive and well, that we waving our flag, that the city of Newark is strong, and all of our diversity, we here with you. So we have to do it big next year. And if you never participated, you never engaged in your community's events, whether it be flag raisings or parades or anything, now is the time to get involved. Now is the time to get involved, y'all. It really is. Today we did an announcement of the last leg. We're in our final stages of the lead service replacement line. Since 1 year, a year ago, a little over a year ago, we only did 700. Now we're at about 15,000. We have done about 15,000, and we have a little over 18,000 to do. So we're reaching a 15,000 number. Just a year later, and if everything go the way it's been going, we'll be finished by the spring of 2021. Keep pushing. If you do not know, if you have a lead service line, if you want to know, you can go to NewarkLeadServiceLines.com. One word, NewarkLeadServiceLines.com. You can type in your address to see if you have a date to get yours fixed. You can even call and see if you have one, period. But we almost done. We're in our last stretch here. Thank God. Shout out to Joe DiVincenzo and the county for allowing us to borrow that $120 million to get this to happen. So I have good news today on our numbers. I have a lot of stuff to go over. Good news today. But first, Newark, we have 25 more positive cases today than we did Friday. That is an average of about 8 cases per day. 8 cases per day over that weekend, 3 days. No new deaths still. No new deaths. We still going strong with a low morbidity rate. It is awesome. No new deaths. 25 more cases today than we did Friday, which is about 8 cases per day. 947 cases since June, and 34 deaths since June 30th each days, and no new deaths. New Jersey has a total of 200,154 positive cases, which is about 1,306 more than Friday, 1,306 more than Friday. So New Jersey also has 8 more deaths than Friday, 8 more deaths than Friday. So a total of 14,278 deaths, 8 more deaths than Friday. So here's the good news. On Friday, so the zip code data I gave you on Friday was absolutely correct. You see upticks in the numbers throughout the city because the tested numbers were low, but the raw numbers were still low, right? So for example, 07101 had a positivity rate of 13%, but that only represented 4 people that were positive in that. So I gave that raw data, and I want you to look at it. I went over the numbers today, and when I reported the state's test positivity rate, I reported the state's test positivity rate versus our test positivity rate, and I actually read the information wrong. I couldn't wait to get back here and let y'all know. I read the information wrong, upside down. So I actually said Newark had a test positivity rate of 2.19 and the state's positivity rate was 1.52. It was actually the reverse. New Jersey's test positivity rate is 2.19% and Newark's positivity rate is 1.52%. I mean, I was going off and I read it upside down. And so Newark is at 1.52%. And the last time we were at 1.82%. So our test positivity rate is still lower than the state of New Jersey's test positivity rate. Our test positivity rate is still lower than the state's test positivity rate. State of New Jersey is at 2.19%. Newark is at 1.52%, right? So if you were on with us on Friday, I read those numbers. I just read it in reverse. I gave Newark 219, the state 1.52, but it's actually reversed. So that's good news. The good news is that we're still maintaining, based on the state's testing data, a low positivity test rate, lower than the states, and we want to keep it that way, and we want to continue to go down. The other news that's, I guess, is not bad, but it's not super good, is when we did the zip code sites. But we have to get more people tested. We have to get more people tested so we can get a fair number of what that looks like. We have to get more people out and get more people tested. Don't get lax. The testing is free. Get out there and get tested. And we count, the way we do ours, we count you. If you get tested 50 times, we count you 50 times. That's why our numbers look different than what the state numbers look like, a little higher than the way the state averages it out, all of the testing out. So we do it both ways. We do it our way and we do it the state way, right? Our rate, we are okay, but we're not where we need to be in terms of our rate. In terms of the state, we are at 1.52%, which is very good, very good. And we need you to still call about those large gatherings. 973-969-1122, 973-969-1122, between 4 and 12. Now I want to say something about these restaurants and businesses. So we haven't been going out for the last week or so. We haven't been going out. We haven't been doing inspections. We haven't been checking, right? So I went out Sunday and Saturday, just randomly. There are places that have too many people inside of them. Every restaurant, every place has their occupancy rate that's on file when they do their business license. They're supposed to have 25% of that occupancy rate. That's not happening. So we're coming out this week. I'm not telling you what days. We'll be out this week checking restaurants, beauty parlors, barbershops, gyms, everything that are open that people can come inside. We're going to be checking them to make sure you have 25% of your amount of people that's able to fit into your place, your occupancy rate. If you do not have that, we will close your business down. It's important for you to know you have to do 25. And I know on Sundays, it's football Sunday, and all of y'all want to rush to go watch football and be crowded in these places. Look, I went to a place Sunday. I went inside, and there was so many people in there, I turned right around and went back out. And that's what you should be doing. You have to take the matter into your own hands. Let people know you cannot be in a place that's overcrowded, especially when the ventilation is bad. There's no windows open. There are no doors open. There's no ventilation at all in the place. The HVAC is not, they don't have a HVAC that is killing bacteria, a HVAC system or a filter system in the HVAC that's killing bacteria to the level of COVID-19. Then you don't need to be in there. And I take that seriously. So you need to take it seriously as well. A lot of places are not doing that, and we are inspecting. And speaking of inspections, so NJIT quarantined an entire dormitory just recently. They quarantined an entire dormitory because they're doing a new thing, which is happening in different states around the country and in a couple of different countries as well. They're testing the sewage system, the waste in the sewage, because what scientists have found out is that COVID-19 can be traced in people's waste. So what they do is they go and test the waste. They go and test the sewage that's coming from a specific building. And when they tested that sewage coming from that building, COVID-19 was present in that sewage at a high rate, which means that somebody in the building, in fact, had COVID-19. Now, the university tests randomly, I think maybe 300 some of our students a month or a week or something like that. And so person must have been asymptomatic and there's waste. And so the good thing about testing the waste is that you can jump on it immediately and you test the waste. So the only thing is that this is kind of a mass kind of thing. So when they do that, they're not sure who in the building has it. So they have to test everybody in the building. They have to quarantine everybody in the building and then test everybody in that building to see who in fact is negative and who is positive for the virus. And I think it's a really creative way of doing that. Cities, you know, in order for cities to do that, like they're doing in different countries, in order for cities to do that, we would have to come out and test specific waste systems and find out in a specific area, which would be you know, we have to find a way of narrowing it down the way the NJIT University can narrow it down. You have to find a way of narrowing it down to a few blocks or a neighborhood to be able to test the waste and make a determination. And even still, we would have to test everybody in that neighborhood and everybody on those blocks in order for us to get a definitive answer of who in fact is positive and who in fact is negative. But it's a good way to figure it out in terms of office buildings, workspaces, school buildings. You could do a school building, you could do an office building, you know, you can do a store or any of those things will help you make a determination of whether COVID is present in that building, if somebody in the building is in fact positive. And that is becoming more and more widespread. People are beginning to use that. And I think is a great tool to use. NJIT, as a result of that, like I said, quarantined the entire building, all of the students in a dormitory, quarantined the entire dormitory until they found out who in fact was positive and who had to actually be quarantined or not. So that's down the street from us, downtown Newark. We have to figure it out. But you know, overall, since they've been testing at NJIT for students, they only came up, I guess, about 3 or 4 people actually tested positive out of all of the students that they had there, which is not bad. And I think them doing this proactive way and beginning the quarantine and finding out what's going on is another opportunity for them to keep their school safe and in turn keep the city safe. If you see large crowds, 973-969-1122, I have to say that again, 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. We're coming out to your restaurants. We're coming out to the beauty parlor, the barbershop. We're coming out to your place of business. Be on alert. Let everybody know we're coming. And I don't want it to be a gotcha. I'm not trying to catch you doing something wrong. I'm telling you because I want you to fix it and rethink your policies and do the right thing. I do not want to shut your business down. I do not want to stop you from making money, but I do want you to follow instructions. So I'm telling you now that this week we are coming out. And if you are one of those people who are violating it, your business will be shut down. Get a counter for the people who are managing your business. And as people come in, you count the number. When you get to a number, then you have to stop letting people in until people leave. When the other person leaves, somebody else comes in. That's what you have to do. You have to organize your business like that so it, in fact, is healthy. Remote learning began today. Remote learning began today. We did not get a lot of children. We need more, particularly if you're in this position where you have to work and your child has nowhere to do the virtual learning. You can sign your child up today. The website and application is pinned in this live feed, and you can also find it posted immediately afterwards. It'll be posted up here afterwards, and you can go to it and fill out the application and get your child in this virtual program. All to participate, you have to your child has to be either you can be employed by the city of Newark or the Newark Board of Education or a city resident. You have to either be employed by the Board of Education or the city of Newark or be a city resident, right? And we're saying that because not all city employees or Newark Board of Education employees are Newark residents. So if you're a city of Newark employee or Board of Education employee or a city of Newark resident, then you can bring your child there. The child has to be between the ages of 7 and 13. Between the ages of 7 and 13. And the child has to be in grades 1 through 8. 1 through 8. That's it, 1 through 8. And the child must attend a Newark Board of Education school or a Newark charter school. They must attend a Newark Board of Education school or a Newark charter school. The registration deadline is September the 23rd at 12 noon. Registration deadline is September the 23rd at 12 noon. Get your kids there. I think we had maybe 10 kids today. We need to get more kids. We have all of this space, and we need to get your kids there. Sign up, and they'll tell you exactly where the sites are and where you can send your child or drop your child off in the morning. We will be providing breakfast and lunch. We will be providing breakfast and lunch. And the program ends every day at 4:30 p.m. 4:30 p.m. And we're providing breakfast and lunch. We started today. Something else for parents. COVID-19 school age tuition assistance for working families. COVID-19 school age tuition assistance for working families. Applications for the COVID-19 Child Care Tuition Assistance Program open today. Applications for COVID-19 Child Care Tuition Assistance Program open today. Eligible families in need of child care for their school-age children can apply remotely at www.childcarenj. One word, www.childcarenj.gov/COVID-19. That's www.childcarenj.gov/COVID-19. The tuition assistance is part of a $250 million plan announced last month by Governor Murphy to support working families and to support child care for working families. The program will provide tuition assistance to New Jersey families with incomes up to $75,000. So if you make over $75,000, you're not eligible for this program. If you make over $75,000, you're not eligible for this program. This program is available for all families that make up to $75,000 in need of either full or part-time child care, depending on their school's remote learning schedule. You need full or part-time child care, depending on their school's remote learning schedule. The department will consider applications until funding is exhausted. Funding is exhausted, right? That's www.childcarenj.gov. www.childcarenj.gov. Flyers are also posted on this Facebook page and on social media, so look for them, right? We're still delivering food. I saw somebody up here said they put their name up here over a month ago. I didn't see the name over and over again. So over a month ago and haven't gotten anything. But we fed over 2.2 million people. I'm sorry you wasn't in that. Keep putting your name up here. People will see it and they'll grab it off of there. And if it's somebody up here, please give her some help because I don't understand how she missed that out. But we're delivering food again on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we're delivering food again. We've delivered more than 2 million meals to Newark residents thus far, and we still at it. Put the information on this website, and we will get you the meal on Wednesday. Pop-up testing and census, 3:30 to 8 p.m. Today we had Darcy and Wilson. Darcy and Wilson today, 3:30 to 8 p.m. We had Darcy and Wilson. Wednesday we'll be at Clearview. Day after tomorrow we'll be at Clearview Baptist on Chancellor and Hobson. Clearview Baptist Church on Chancellor and Hobson. On Friday, we'll be at the Ballantyne House on Mount Prospect. The Ballantyne House on Mount Prospect. Remember, folks, complete the census in person at our pop-up sites, or if someone comes to your home, open the door and let them do it. You can also go to Newark Public Library main branch on Monday, on Wednesday, and Friday. Newark Public Library, downtown Newark, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11:30 and 2:30. Right? And fill out the census and you'll receive a $50 ShopRite gift card. $50 ShopRite gift card. Go down there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Fill out the census, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. We are a little over 49% in terms of self-reporting in the census. Let's stay at it. Let's keep pushing. And if they knock on your door, answer the door, please. And we're still doing the Newark Census Selfie Contest, y'all. We haven't got a lot of people turning stuff in. The prize is $1,000. Fill out the census form online and take a creative selfie as proof that you've done it. A selfie creatively, filling out the census online, and you can win $1,000. just email it to newarkcounts@gmail.com. newarkcounts@gmail.com. newarkcounts@gmail.com with a hashtag that says hashtag Newark Counts. Hashtag Newark Counts with under your selfie. Send it to us, fill it out, or you can and you have to go to www.2020census.gov to actually do that. www.2020census.gov to fill it out. Or call 844-330-2020 for English, 844-468-2020 for Spanish, 844-474-2020 for Portuguese, and 844-477-2020 for Haitian Creole. We all have to fill out the census. Every resident in the city, whether you have a shelter over your head, a roof over your head, or not. No matter the language you speak, no matter the community you live in, the food you like, the person you love, you need to fill out the census. Whether you documented or undocumented, you need to fill out the census. You need to fill it out whether you live with your mama and you're 30 years old or not. You need to fill out the census. Fill it out. Your child has to fill out this. You have to fill out the census for your baby, newborn babies, 1 year old, 2 years old. Fill out the census for all of these people, please. Please. And if you missed any of our water meetings, we're having another one Thursday at 7 p.m. live on Facebook. 7 p.m. this Thursday, September the 24th, 7 p.m. You can submit questions if you have them to Newark People's Assembly, one word, Newark People's Assembly at ci.newark.nj.us. For all you newcomers, we have 25 more positive cases today than we did on Friday. Total of 947 since June 30th. No new deaths since Friday. The state has 1,306 more positive cases since Friday and 8 new deaths since Friday. And if you were on Friday and you heard the mayor ranting and raving because I read the test positivity numbers upside down. New Jersey's test positivity number is 2.19%. New Jersey is 2.19%, and Newark is 1.52%. Newark is 1.52%, which actually is down from the last time we checked because we were at 1.82%. Now we're at 1.52%. That's the test positivity rate in our city. And our reproductivity rate is even lower than that, y'all. So we're doing great in Newark. We have to stay that way. We have to get more people tested. We have to wear our masks. We have to make sure these places are not overcrowded. We're coming out to inspect this weekend. So on Friday, we maintain this. I know I said that I was going to do something on Friday. And because I made that error on Friday, so this Friday, we maintain this. I'm gonna have to read y'all a poem. I'm gonna make up a poem and read it, talking about how great and wonderful and outstanding and beautiful Newark and the Newark residents are here in this incredible, incredible, incredible city. Tonight, if you have time, NJ Pack is doing a program. You should sign on to this NJ Pack program. It is about the life of John Lewis. It's the life of John Lewis. John Lewis being the congressman who was very active in the civil rights movement, just passed away. It's about the life of John Lewis. Listen, a lot of heavyweight folks that have been fighting for our rights of all people in this country are leaving us, which means it's time for us to step up to the plate. Ruth Bader Ginsburg just passed away. RBG just passed away. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, which means that this election in November is more important than we could ever imagine. This election in November becomes more important because this president gets to pick this Supreme Court justice. That's if Mitch McConnell doesn't force the pick now and allow Trump to pick the person anyway. But Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away. We need to balance this court out. We need to make sure we have somebody on this court that's progressive, that's willing to fight for the rights of all people in all communities. And so that's incredibly, incredibly important. And speaking of that, tomorrow at the Prudential Arena, we're doing voter registration down there at the Prudential Arena all day. Send people down there that need to register to vote. Come down there. Send people down to the Prudential Arena to register to vote. Shout out to the NAACP who's helping this effort out. We need you to send as many people down there to register to vote. And if they're on parole and probation, send them down there too, because this year you can vote in the presidential election because of the law that was passed and signed by this governor, Phil Murphy. I want to read an excerpt from Elizabeth Acevedo's Afro-Latina It goes, Afro-Latina camina conmigo. The first language I spoke was Spanish. How quickly we forget where we come from. So remind me that I come from the Tainos of the Rio, the Aztec, the Mayan, Los Incas, Los Españoles. I know I come from stolen gold, from cocoa and sugarcane, the children of slaves and slave masters, a beautifully tragic mixture of sancocho of a race history, and my memory can't seem to escape the thought of lost lives and indigenous rape, of bittersweet bitterness, of feeling innate, the soul of a people, past, present, and fate. Our stories cannot be checked into boxes. They are in the forgotten, the undocumented, the passed down spoonfuls of arroz con dulce of abuela's knee. They're the way our hips skip to the beat of kumba, merengue, and salsa. They're in the bending and blending of backbones. We are every ocean cross. We are the sons and daughters El Destino de mi gente, black, brown, beautiful Afro-Latinas, hasta la muerte. Que viva. See you guys on Wednesday. Enjoy.